Hello, coin collectors out there. Welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. Got another great video for you here. We're going to stay with our recent theme of dollar coins. And recently we talked about this one right here, the Great Law of Peace, which was kind of a peace treaty that the United States Constitution was actually based off of. And that treaty brought together a bunch of different Native American tribes, and they signed it, and then they kind of stopped fighting after that. The one on the right here commemorates Mohawk Indians for their work in high metal. They did a lot of work as iron workers because of they didn't really have much of a fear for heights, so they were great at building and working construction in large buildings. And this one right here is one that we haven't talked about, so that's going to be the focus on today's video. But before we get into the details of this specific Sacagawea coin, let me give you a little bit of background about the Sacagawea coin. So this is the Obverse that you're probably used to seeing. So that's consistent throughout all of the Sacagawea coins. The Sacagawea coins first started coming out in 2000, and from 2000 to 2008, they all had this Obverse and then this reverse. Now there are some more valuable reverses out there that are called the Cheerios dollars. So you can watch some of my other videos or anyone else's videos if you want to learn about that kind of special Cheerios dollars for the 2000 to 2008 reverse. Then, starting in 2009, they switched up the reverses and they made some cool different reverses. Now, they've all got the same obverse, which is just Sacagawea with her baby right there over her shoulder. So they've all got that same obverse, but they all have some different reverses starting in 2009. So actually in 2009, this is the first reverse that they made. And this one right here is known as the spread of three sisters. So we'll get a little bit more into the design and what that means later. But first, I want to touch upon the other different cool designs. So the year after is when they came out with the Great Law of Peace design right here. And then following that, was the Winnipeg Treaty of 1621 reverse. Then in 2012, they had a reverse which featured a Native American and a horse. Then after that was in 2013 was the Treaty of the Delawares. And then following that in 2014, they had another cool design. And then in 2015 is when this Mohawk Ironworkers came out. 2016, World War II, and then 2017, the Code Talkers. Actually, Code Talkers was 2016, but another design came out in 2017. All right, but let's get back to this one right here, because I could go into a lot of details trying to explain those designs. So this one came out in 2009. Now, its main metal content is a manganese-brass combination. It's made out of 88.5% copper, 6% zinc, 3.5% manganese, and 2% nickel. The manganese is what gives it its color. So on the reverse, you see a Native American woman sowing seeds of the three sisters. The three sisters are the main agricultural crops of Native Americans: squash, maize, and climbing beans. It symbolizes the Indian tribes' combination to contributions to agriculture. So I stuttered a little bit with that word there. All right, so in 2009, there were 33.8 million made at the Denver Mint, 37.3 made at the Philadelphia Mint, and 2 million made at the old San Francisco Mint. Now a little bit more about the Three Sisters agriculture. So the Three Sisters are the main groups that we mentioned, but also interestingly, when you plant these three items together, squash, maize, and climbing beans, they actually have cool properties that help each other out. So the maize provides a structure for the beans to climb, eliminating the need for poles. The beans provide nitrogen to the soil that other plants use, and the squash spread along the ground, blocking sunlight, preventing the establishment of weeds. So these three different food groups kind of come together and help each other out, and these three foods were provided to the Europeans by the Native Americans to kind of help them out. So the Native Americans showed the Europeans how to plant these foods, and then the Europeans then kind of use those to help kind of fuel themselves. So when Sacagawea, the person we see on the obverse right here, when she was helping Lewis and Clark on their expedition west, she probably encountered many tribes planting these different crops right here, and these crops kind of helped fuel Lewis and Clark's expedition, I would imagine. All right, so this coin, it's not, the mintages were kind of normal, 33 million at the Denver, 37 at the Philly. The reason why you might not have seen this is because they only made it in 1 year. This only came out in 2009. Those other years, from 2009 until 2018, they've switched up the design every year. So a pretty regular mintage amount, I should say, for 2009. However, they only made it in 1 year, so the overall mintages are pretty low. All right, so we talked about this cool coin here. Wanted to give you a little more content. So there are some other error coins out there that appear on the dollar coin, and those generally relate to the presidential dollars. So you've probably seen coins like this one right here. This is a presidential dollar coin. George Washington, obviously the first president. So they made the first coin about him. And this one right here, Thomas Jefferson, the third president. Now, I believe John Adams was the third, but I don't have a coin of him in front of me. The reason why, actually, I do. Here it is right here. The reason why these three are particularly good to look for is because there are some known errors out there. There are some known what's called rim errors. So there are some coins out there that were produced for these 3 years that didn't have any inscriptions on the edge. Now, what you should do when you get one of these coins is first just check the edge. If there's nothing on the edge, if there's no inscriptions like you see here, then it could be an error coin because these are the first year when they really started putting stuff on the edge of the coin. And obviously, whenever they start doing something for the first time, there's a lot of errors. So those are edge inscription errors related to the presidential dollar coins, focused primarily on the first 3 presidents, Washington, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson. All right, so I'll start to sign off. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, comment, subscribe. As you guys know, that helps out the channel a little. If you're into coin collecting, please do check out some of the other videos on my channels. If you have any recommendations on videos to make, feel free to leave me a comment, or any suggestions at all. Feel free to leave comments and let me know. All right, best of luck coin collecting, everyone. Take care. Enjoy.